Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister back for another episode of Cycle with Max. Today we're going to talk about how to find the right group to ride in on Zwift. Now, for most people that ride in groups on the road in particular, you're going to show up to a ride and you're going to be grouped according to the speed, the average speed that the group is going to travel down the given course that they've planned for that night. Now, if you know the group and you know the routes, then it's easier for you to select. But if not, you're going to use the common things you might use, such as elevation gain on the ride, and sort of look around at other riders you might know and know if you were able to ride with them on a normal ride or in another ride in another place. So there's some cues you can use. But still, there's a little bit of guesswork going on there as to exactly where you'll fit in. Now, so that you can choose the right group. On Zwift, it's much easier, but they're going to do it in a completely different way than you're probably familiar with. So most people have heard of the term watts in cycling, and watts is the power you produce while you're pedaling the bike, the measurement unit that's used in cycling, and kilo, right? So are kilograms of weight. Watts per kilo is how you're going to find your group in Zwift. Now, most people have not invested into a power meter for their road-going bike. A lot of recreational cyclists, you'll find most expert cyclists or people that race or train on a higher level will have invested in a power meter. Now, if you're riding indoors on Zwift and you've bought a smart trainer, bam, you've already got the power meter. If you have a bike with a power meter, you can put and you don't have a smart trainer, you of course can put your bike with a power meter onto a standard trainer and get power in Zwift. But without a smart trainer or a power meter on your bike, then this conversation will be kind of irrelevant for you initially. You'll just have to go start at the bottom of Zwift and ride your way around until you get a feel for the groups that suit your level of performance. Now, so watts is the power you put out. Now, if I'm a rider and I'm able to put out 200 watts, which would be pretty strong, and my friend puts out 200 watts, you'd think we'd go down the road together at the same time. Well, that's the only one factor, is the power you produce. The next factor is, what do you weigh? So if I weigh 150 pounds and my friend weighs 250 pounds, now we're not going the same speed. So he will have to put out significantly more power, maybe 300 watts, in order for me to ride with him. Okay? So, and there's a calculation for that, and that calculation is watts per kilo. Now, what you need to do is determine what your body weight is in kilograms, and so that is a simple factor of dividing your body weight by 2.2, and that equals kilograms. All right, so if you weigh 150 pounds, you're going to be around 70 kilograms approximately, something like that. If you're 220 pounds, you are 100 kilograms. All right, now the way it works out so that you know exactly where to go is, once you have that number, and let's say you ride around in Zwift for a while and you say, I'm very comfortable riding at 150 watts and I weigh 75 kilograms, then I am comfortable riding at 2.0 watts per kilo. All right. So then all you have to do is look in the events chart and find a group that's going out to ride at 2 watts per kilo, and boom, you ride in, you'll fit in, you won't be struggling, that'll be the ticket. Now, it's important to note that the scale is not linear, so as the watts increase, it becomes more difficult to step up. So to put this in some sort of context, at 2 watts per kilo, that would represent a typical recreational cyclist, one who never races, who has no aspirations of doing anything like that, who shows up to the rides, is generally strong and fit, and they would ride along in a typical road group ride at 16 to 18 miles per hour over gently rolling terrain. You know, that's going to be 2 watts per kilo rider. 3 watts per kilo rider, even though it's only 1 more, it is a lot faster rider, significantly more powerful rider, someone who's probably already competing or racing on, you know, recreationally, and who is probably called an A group rider or a 20 plus mile per hour rider, that kind of thing. All right, but that's not all in Zwift. In Zwift, they have 4 plus watts per kilo riders, and at this point you're talking about serious, very serious cyclists, elite cyclists, possibly professional racers even show up and ride, and or local Cat 1, Cat 2 type riders. This is a very, very strong group of cyclists. So if you're just entering the game and you don't, hey, I don't even know where I am, but I just want to go for a ride, or I don't even care too much about all of this technical stuff, and I don't really want to blow my brains out here trying to ride, they have huge groups of riders that ride at 1.5 watts per kilo. Okay, now 1.5 watts is very, very easy to pedal. Anybody who's a cyclist who's gone to the trouble of putting a bike on a trainer and logging onto Zwift is already capable of pedaling 1.5 watts per kilo. It's very, very easy. So this is a great way to just spin your legs out, play in the game, get familiar, and then there's lots of groups that ride in that 1.5 to 2.0 watts general area. So, and then to make this perfectly clear, you know, so if I am ride at 150 watts and I'm 75 kilograms, so my friend who weighs 100 kilograms, he's going to have to be able to pedal 200 watts. But he's also 2.0 watts per kilo. So no matter how we size out, as long as he's capable of pedaling the wattage that equals the same speed for both of us, then we can both ride together, and that's how it works. So that's how riders of all sizes get matched up in Zwift. Very easy once you know your range. So, all right, hopefully that makes it clearer on how you're gonna get along in Zwift. Please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends if you feel this will help them get some context with this. And subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep this great content coming.